The village of Amandamai, located in North Sumatra, Indonesia, is known for its nature of luscious greenery and clean rivers. People often visit to do some light hiking and river swimming. Surrounded by multiple forests, they are also known for their sweet sugar cane, which provides income for their villagers who are mostly farmers and cattle breeders. The name of the village itself, Amandamai, translates to peace and serenity. But from 1986 to 1997, this peaceful village was plagued by multiple murders of its local women. My name is Vida, and today we will be looking into Ahmad Suradji, the killer shaman. On 27th of April 1997, a local man of Amandamai was shocked to find a naked decomposing woman's body in a sugarcane field. In a state of shock and horror, the man asked other nearby residents for help. They immediately called the police and found out that the body belonged to a 21-year-old Sri Kumala Dewi, who had apparently been missing for 3 days. The sectoral police of Sungal originally had their suspicion on Dewi's husband, Tumin. Witnesses mentioned that before her disappearance, Tumin and Dewi had been arguing with each other, and on further inspection, the couple had already been living separate lives. With no other leads, the police had to arrest Tumin to be investigated even further. However, the police had to release him as there weren't enough evidence to charge him. A break in the case happened when a 15-year-old rickshaw puller named Andreas reported to the police that he had taken Sri Kumala Dewi or Dewi to a local DUKUN. Now before we go further, I would like to explain what a DUKUN is. If you go on Google Translate, a DUKUN means a shaman in Indonesian. Generally, a DUKUN is a person who possesses supernatural abilities that solve several issues such as various illness, supernatural interference, curses and all the like, and even to finding lost items. In rural and small villages, DUKUNs are generally looked up to by the people. They are considered healers. However, DUKUN also has a negative connotation. Some DUKUN are also willing to cast curses for a certain amount of money, and they would also go to certain lengths to receive more power. Some are also well known in providing services called pasang susuk. Translated to English means putting an implant. But this is not like a silicone implant that we often hear in the medical world. The implant that we are talking about are diamonds and gold. Paired with a particular ritual, the DUKUN would then implant the diamonds or gold in certain areas of their client's body. This is said to not only improve their physical appearance, but also to improve certain skills. Many men and women are fond of this service as they can attract anyone and anything they want. Dewi had met with a DUKUN 3 days prior to her disappearance. Andreas, the rickshaw puller, was ordered by Dewi to not tell a single soul about her visit to a DUKUN. This DUKUN's name was Ahmad Suradji. Ahmad Suradji, or also known as Nasib Kelewang, was born on the 12th of December 1952 in Medan, North Sumatra. He worked as a cattle breeder and would also help sugarcane farmers harvest their crop. He had 3 wives, whom are all blood-related sisters, and they would have 9 children together. In his 20s, Ahmad Suradji spent a brief time in jail due to stealing neighboring cattle and also for petty crimes. This was motivated through the economic hardship that him and his family were facing. Desperate for a better life, he decided to pursue the art of mysticism, which his own father had briefly taught him before his passing. His father had mentioned that if he wants to gain superhuman-like qualities, which includes being immune to any kind of weapon attack and the ability to disappear, he must kill 70 women and drink their saliva. First-hand experience on the gruesome acts of Ahmad Suradji was shared by a local villager named Yanti. Prior to her visiting Ahmad Suradji, she had seen a friend of hers looking much more vibrant and confident. That friend recommended her to visit Ahmad Suradji. She told Yanti that after following a ritual with the DUKUN, she feels so beautiful and powerful. And then, unfortunately, Yanti decided that it was worth a try. When she visited him, everything seemed normal. He welcomed her and asked her on how he can be of any help. They talked for a while, then the ritual began. He began by reciting a spell for her and spat in a glass full of water. He then told her to drink the water. Yes, you heard that right. He told her to drink the water, which she did. Thinking that it's done, Yanti started to excuse herself to go home. However, he stopped her and said that there are more rituals to follow. To complete the ritual, she must meet him again at night on the outskirts of the village. Yanti started to make her way to the edge of the village. When she arrived, she saw Ahmad Suradji carrying a sack. Noticing Yanti's worried gaze, he briefly mentions that the sack has tools for the ritual. He then took her quietly to a deserted sugarcane field. It was dark, and the sugarcane field was so dense that Yanti could feel the leaves making small cuts on her skin. They are known to be quite sharp. At this point, she was getting suspicious and told Ahmad Suradji that she wanted to go back home. But he convinced her that this ritual is the only way that she would achieve beauty and wealth. She didn't complain anymore and continued on walking. After quite a distance, they arrived at a clearing. He then told her to take off her clothes. Although she was hesitant, he managed to convince her once more. Her ambitions for becoming more beautiful was also very strong, so she went along with his plans. He started to touch her inappropriately, and then he raped her. She felt bewitched and frozen in fear. She couldn't do anything. Yanti regretted her decision, and as she was about to put on her clothes to leave, he stopped her and said that there is one more ritual. She complied and sat on the ground naked while waiting for him to prepare for the next ritual. He proceeded to dig a hole deep enough for a person to stand on. He then told Yanti to enter the hole. She hesitated but followed his instruction. When she was inside, he shoveled dirt into the hole that Yanti is standing. Yanti started to panic. At this point, the dirt was already up to her waist. She tried to calm herself down until she saw a long black cable amongst his scattered tools. Realization kicks in, and she finally pushed him with her remaining energy and successfully freed herself from the hole. She quickly grabbed her clothes, put them on, and ran as fast as she could back to the village. She has never told anyone about this incident, as she feared that she would be shunned by the people at the village. After speaking to Andreas, the police confronted Ahmad at his home. He initially denied the allegation, but when the authorities found jewelry and a dress that belonged to the victim, they quickly arrested him. On April 30, 1997, the police interrogated him, and he slowly confessed on killing Dewi. He also revealed that he had killed 42 women. An excavation at the sugarcane field was carried out, and throughout the process, 42 bodies were recovered. Some had been very decomposed that they were unidentifiable. Ahmad told the police that he would persuade the women to go with him to the sugarcane field and told them to follow his ritual. He would bury them up to their waist, claiming that it was part of the ritual, and when they're taken off guard, he would then strangle them with the black cable. Once he's sure that his victim is dead, he will take their saliva and drink it. He would also take any valuable belongings that they brought with them. To hasten the decomposition process, he would take off their clothes and bury his victims into the hole that he has made with their heads pointing to the direction of his house. The exact motive for his actions are still unclear, but the police theorized that by sacrificing these women and drinking their saliva, he would become really powerful. So powerful that when he starts to steal again, he would evade the police easily by, well, disappearing into thin air, I guess. Ahmad Suradji's trial began on December 11, 1997. And finally, on April 27, 1998, he was sentenced to death by a firing squad. His 3 wives were also arrested for assisting in the murders and helping him hide the bodies. However, only his first wife, Tumini, was tried and sentenced to death. Later on, she appealed and it was then reduced to life imprisonment. Ahmad Suradji was executed on July 10, 2008. Personally, this case is absolutely horrible. I kept feeling horrified while researching about the case. I only have absolute disdain for anyone who takes advantage on people's hardships. So, comment down below on what you guys think about this case. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you next time.